Welcome you all students. We shall move to the last unit, unit 5, isometric and perspective projections. Okay, let us start with the first isometric projection. Isometric projection. Right. See, right now till the fourth unit, we do have practice of showing the projection and the orthographic method. Am I right? So when you are going with the orthographic projection, in order to specify the details of any object, we need to undergo or we need to show multiple views like front view, top view and side views. Am I right? Yes. So when we are doing such things, when you want to visualize the exact image of any of the object, we need to give mental effort in order to bring it in your mind. Okay. So in order to overcome such things, we are going with a pictorial projection. Okay. So this isometric projection is one of the pictorial projection. Okay. It shows, the isometric projection shows 3D, three dimension of any object, of an object. Its speciality is their dimensions can be measured. It shows the 3 dimension of the object and the dimension can be measured from the diagram itself. Okay, from the same view we can get all the things, right? So here isometric, iso in the sense, it's a Greek word. It stands for the meaning equal, and metric in the sense, it's measure. Okay, so that we can say isometric projection is nothing but a system of projection of equality of measure. Okay, system of projection of equality of measure, right? See, in the isometric projection, we used to represent with the 2 terms. One is isometric view. Isometric view, and another one is isometric projection. Okay, most of the time we may confuse with these 2 terms, isometric views and isometric projection. Isometric view in the sense, the diagram is drawn to actual scale. It is drawn with the actual scale. If it is isometric projection, the diagram is drawn to isometric scale. You may think, what do you mean by isometric scale? Okay, fine. This is actual scale in the sense, nothing but we are familiar, we are working for all the unit. That means with the true scale. If you done with the true scale, that means with the true measurement, if you draw the diagram, it is the actual scale. It's a true length. Here we use true length. Okay. When it comes to the isometric projection, we use 0.82 times of the true length. Okay, the line, the measurement will be 0.82 times of the true length. Okay, for example, if your true length is 10 mm, in the sense, the isometric projection measurement will be 0.82 times the true length. That means if you multiply with 10, you get the exact or the measurement. That means here you will get how much? 8.2 mm. So when you compare with the true length, the isometric projection, the length will be what? Shorter, right? So here when you are specifying in the diagram, we used to represent the scale 1:1, actual scale. Here when you are showing up the diagram, we need to specify the isometric scale. Okay, isometric scale, not to note it down, the mathematically it is proven, and graphically as well the proven stamp is there. We need to specify it. For that we need to have a horizontal line. Okay, horizontal line. I'm going to take this as A and B at the end. Okay, A and B at the end. Then just keep your protractor something like this at A end and go for 15 degree, measure 15 degree and have a inclined line. Same manner from the other end B, just measure 45 degree and go for a inclined line. So this is with 15 degree and this is with 45 degree. Okay, so the line will intersect that particular place. This will be C. Okay, and C, if you divide this line, I can say this is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Just I have divided it into the equal propagation and I have taken the number 0 to 3. Okay, when you want to take the measurement of isometric length, you need to have the parallel line from each and every divided point like this. For the 45 degree inclination, we need to take the parallel line. The line runs between A to B is a true length. True length. And the line runs between A to C is a isometric length. Isometric length. So thing is, it is meaning the same thing. If the true length, if the segment A to 0 is with 10 mm, the parallel line which we have taken between A to C will show the measurement 8.2. Okay, in order to take the measurement graphically, we used to take in such manner. Okay, in the diagram, in order to show the particular profile is drawn with the isographic projection, we need to stamp with this scale. Okay, with this scale. I hope you understood. Here, mathematically proven one, it is found in the isometric projection, the length will be shorter. That means 0.82 times of the true length. Okay, the graphical method to show on the profile is here. Okay, next we shall move to the next topic. When you are going to draw the profile of isometric projection or isometric diagram, always we prefer the box method. Okay, we prefer the box method. Box method. First of all, I'm going to take a simple plane shape. First one is the square. The square, we know all the four sides are equal. Let's see how we going to convert this 2D diagram square into 3D. Okay, how we going to take it into the 3D axis. Okay, fine. In order to take it, just before You can give names for it. So in a 2D diagram, how to capture the corners with small letter A, B, C and D. Okay. Now it's time to make a what? The isometric view. So for that, first take a horizontal line like this, and then take a center. Take a center. Afterwards, keep your protractor in such manner and take 30° on both sides, at the left as well on the right. Okay. So if you take a line, it will be coming like this. Both right side and left side are taken with 30° inclined line. Now, in order to take the isometric view, I am going to fix this point as A. Okay. So it's a 3D, that means isometric view. When you are representing on the isometric view, you should not make this mistake. Okay. Always the isometric view should be given with a capital letter. Okay. I am going to specify as capital letter A. And then in order to specify the B, take the measurement from the 2D diagram. Okay. On the inclined line, have a cut. So this would be your B. Then take the measurement of A to D, and from A just have a cut mark, so that you can specify the D. What about C? It's a final end, am I right? So for that you can take the measurement A to C. What is the measurement? From D to C measurement, and from D just have a cut mark. Measure B to C, the measurement, by keeping it B, have a cut mark, so that when you are having a line to the cut mark, you will get the corner C. Okay. So this is the view of square, so that you can make it as a dark one. Make it as a dark one. Okay. All the lines in the diagram will be 30°. Okay. And when you come to this board, A, D and BC will be parallel to each other, and AB and DC will be a parallel line. And then the shape which I am going to show here is hexagon. The second one is a hexagon. Okay, hexagon plane. So we know hexagon has how many sides? 6 sides. So first of all, draw it. So this is the shape of hexagon. Okay. So specify the name for it. I'm going to take this as A, B, C, D, E, and this is F. C, convert it into isometric view. So for that, first of all, take the horizontal line, keep the midpoint of it. By keeping your protractor, measure 30° on the right and left. Go for an inclined line, so that you get a line something like this. So in order to take it to the isometric axis, what we have to do is we need to form a boundary here. Okay, we need to form a boundary. So boundary in the sense nothing but at the extreme we need to draw a tangent lines like this. Have done for the top. Now I am going to draw for the bottom, and then left extreme like this and right extreme like this. Okay, so that you will get a boundary. Now to make the things easier, give name for it. I am going to take this as Roman letter 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So first you have to take this boundary to the isometric axis. So I am going to take this as first, Roman letter first at this particular place. So this is the first. Now to take the second, take the measurement from it and have a cut mark. So this would be a second. Take the measurement of 1 to 4 and just keeping at 1 have a cut mark. So this would be the fourth point. And then what about the third one? Just take the measurement 4 to 3 and just have a cut mark. And then measure 2 to 3. What is the measurement? Keeping at 2 have a cut mark. So that the line cut mark, you get that intersection point is a 3. Okay. So here is 1. Fine. Just connect it 4 to 3, 3 to 2. So this is how the boundary will be formed. See, all the corners of the hexagon is just at the boundary A, B, C, D, E and F. First of all, concentrate on A. So where is A? Between 1 to 4. So take the measurement 1 to A. What is the measurement? So just have a cut mark. You get the capital A. B and C is between 1 and 2. Take the measurement 1 to B. What is the measurement? From 1 just conveyed, you get B. C, take the measurement from 2 to C and have a cut mark in the same line, you get C. D between 2 and 3, here it is. Take the measurement 2 to D, just transfer it, you get D. What about F and E? It is between the line 4 to 3. So here it is. Take the measurement 3 to E. What is the measurement? Convey it. You get E. F. Take the measurement from the 4. Convey it. You get F. Like this. Okay. Afterwards, just connect it one after another. Just go for a line so that you could see the order, isometric view of this particular hexagonal plane. So this is the hexagon, go for a dark one. This is a hexagon, go for a dark one. Okay. This is a isometric view of hexagonal plane. The last one is a circle. The third one is a circle. We shall see how we are going to make the circle when you are coming to the isometric view. So third one is a circle. In circle, we used to follow the method called force center method. Force center method. Okay, we use the method called force center method. We know the shape of the circle. This is the shape. When you want to convert it to isometric view, we need to divide this circle into 4 equal parts. I am going to specify this as A, B, C and this as D. The same procedure, just go for a horizontal line. Take a point at the mid, keep a protractor, read 30 degree at both sides, okay, and go for an inclined line on the right and left. Next, we need to specify all the 4 points not to obtain the what? Circle, right? So here, not to get easy method, what we are going to do is we are going to form a boundary for it. So at the extreme portions, you need to draw the tangent lines like this at the top, bottom, and at the left and right of your diagram, so that you get the boundary. I am going to specify it as 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. Now to take it into the isometric view, I am going to take this as 1. This is 1. Take the measurement 1 to 2, just have a cut. So here you get it. Take the measurement 1 to 4, just have a cut. Here you get 4. Just take the measurement 4 to 3 and keeping at 4, just have a or. Then take the measurement of 2 to 3 and keeping at 2, just have a cut mark, so that you may get the third one, and we can form the boundary in the isometric view. Then it is easy force center method. So here we need to specify the force center at the mid of the boundaries. It is easy one. The same like previous. Where is A? Between 1 and 4. Take the measurement and convey it. You get A. Where is B? Between 1 and 2. Take the measurement from 1 to B. What is the measurement keeping at 1? Have a B point. And then C. Where it is? Between 2 to 3. Take the measurement 2 to C. What is the measurement? Have a cut mark. This will be C. Then where is D? It is between 3 to 4. Take the measurement 3 to D. What is the measurement? Have a cut mark. This would be D. Okay. Now just watch it clearly. Okay. There is a procedure to form the circle in the isometric view. Okay. In the isometric view, the circle will be seen like an ellipse. Okay. Let's see how we are going to make. After finding all the midpoints or all the 4 center of the points, okay, A, B, C and D on the boundaries, what we have to do is just see this is 1, Roman letter 1, am I right? From the opposite midpoint, bring a line to it. Just bring a line to it. Like this. From D and C, bring a line to 1. Then concentrate on 3. From opposite midpoint, just bring a line to it. From opposite midpoint, bring a line. So this is how the line will come. Okay. So here is it. From A to A and B, take a line to 3. Now Z. Keep 1 as center and measure the radius 1 to D or 1 to C, both with the same measurement. So I going to take the measurement 1 to D and fix 1 as center and have a arc. Get like this. Then keep 3 as center, Roman letter 3 as center, and take the measurement 3 to A, the radius, and go for an arc. So you get an arc something like this. Now when you are having the cross lines, here we have the centers, am I right? I'm going to take this as 1 and this as 2. Now fix this 1 as center, okay, known as center, and take the radius 1 to D, or you can take 1 to A and just go for a cut mark like this. Have a circle, and then keeping at 2, take the measurement 2 to C. What is the measurement? Fix it as radius and keep 2 as center, go for a arc, so that we'll get arc something like this. So in the isometric view, the circle can be seen as an ellipse. After finding the trace, go for a dark one. So this is the representation of circle in the isometric view. Just follow this procedure in order to get the shape. Okay. And in the coming videos, I'll be coming with a 3D object. Okay. And I'll be giving you detailed explanation how to make the 3D object as per the isometric projection procedure. Okay. Thank you so much.